while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Hey guys and girls, welcome back to YYC Designz Creations. I'm Twist. For those of you who are new to the channel, there's a few of you who are. The channel has been thankfully booming lately. We are over 200 subscribers. Nothing in the world would have made Tams happier than to see the channel doing what it's doing. So anyway, we have a real pretty day here in Calgary. As you can see, I'm in the big shop. The new lights are freaking amazing. Yeah, it's just fantastic to be able to see what the hell I'm doing for a change. I had lights in the shop here that were from my pop's garage. They were installed in his garage, I think sometime in the mid to late 50s, and those were the lights I was using. Just because I'm a cheap son of a bitch and I don't like spending a lot of money, they were selling the place because my ma, it's just getting too much for her, so she's selling the place. So I took the lights, and last year I've been using them here in my shop, and they're just not enough, right? Especially for all this small stuff. Speaking of small stuff, we are back to RC's in the big shop. We are working today on root beer. So I do have to apologize to y'all. I will be honest. I have been feeling a lot of guilt and going through a lot of depression over losing my beautiful Tams. And some days I just don't give a shit anymore. And it's hard to want to get to do stuff, and then I start watching a little bit of YouTube, and I start watching guys that are building stuff, and the inspiration comes back. And I really got to thank again Mark from Old Iron RC. He is just a champion, man. That guy has always had my back, always inspiring me, and even when he doesn't know he's inspiring me, he's inspiring me. And I really got to say, my brother Smee. Now, that's not his real name, obviously. That's his nickname. And he's a brother from another mother, though he's more like an adopted brother. I just love the guy. He is a major inspiration in my life. I mean, the guy is just full of positive, and I can't thank him enough for everything he's done in my life, and especially for inspiring me to go on. And he's just fantastic. And Smee, all my love, brother, always. And Bull Gear RC, Lee, thank you, brother. You know what I'm talking about. And there's others that I'm not mentioning, I'm sure. And please don't feel offended if I forget. I just don't want to drag this out. Today we're going to be working on root beer. And we're going to be putting in her, well, or at least designing and building and putting in her transfer case mount. Okay, it's a small piece, but it's a technical piece because it's not just a flat piece. You got to curve it just so. You want it at the right angle. It's got to be just so far back from the motor to make sure that it fits the connecting drive shaft and all of that. So let's get on with it. And then I was really not happy with the way I designed the original fenders for the front end, the side engine covers and the fenders for root beer. I was really just not happy with how I did it, and I've been mulling it over for far too long, but I think I have a much better design in my head, and we're going to keep going with that and get that redone, and we're just going to do stuff and see where we get. Yeah, so let's get to her. Let's get down to it. Let's have some fun, yeah? Okay, so what do you think of my shop lights now, y'all? Look at that bench, man. I can see shit I couldn't see before, I'll tell you. It's nice. It's a thing of beauty. Anyway, so to spare y'all a bunch, what I did was I took a piece of 1 inch by 1/8 flat stock, like usual. Let's flip her upside down, and bent her, drilled her, and there is Root Beer's transfer case mount. You can see her motor mount here. It's just a nice little space. It gives me 2 inches from the output shaft of the center gearbox back to the transfer case, which is about proper. And that will give me proper lengths for the front drive shaft to go in here, the rear drive shaft, and she is a perfect on 10 scale, and she will have a wheelbase that is somewhat adjustable because of the shock mounts I put on. Now I know they're a little bit beefy, they're not the fancy loops. I might actually add a hunk of square stock around them just to make them look a little cooler, especially these ones on the back. Now they got to be cleaned up, obviously, right? Because they're, you know, they've been on a while, and the frame is outside, so it will rust at present. No big deal, because it's not like a whole ton. Somebody accused me on the Fat Strings build of grinding the ever-living hell out of a piece of round stock, making it thereby no longer round. I guess the dude didn't realize. Now, he said he meant no offense, and I don't take offense to it, but I do want to point out that when I am saying I'm grinding this off, it's with a flapper disc, okay? Now, we go over here to my tools. This is a flapper disc, y'all. This is not made to take off tons and tons of material. If you just go light with it, it just gets rid of surface rust ever so nicely and just makes a smooth surface. It is not, I repeat, not grinding the ever-living hell out of anything. That is a grinder, my friends. That will grind the ever-living hell out of whatever you want to put to it if you press hard enough. Now, I don't think I need to tell y'all that I am not using the strength of the almighty Hulk to grind these 10 scale models with. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, 30 plus years. I think I know how to remove surface rust, and I think I know how to clean up parts without grinding the ever-living hell out of it. So while I do appreciate the comment, please tell these cats that I do have some common sense and I didn't fall off the turnip truck last night. It may have been at night, but it wasn't last night, all right? This cat must think I'm a total noob at metalworking or something to have made the comment he made. And no, I do not take offense to it, so please don't misunderstand me. I am reiterating that so that I don't get a whole bunch of shit troll comments about what an asshole I am because somebody made a negative comment. I don't mind negative comments, but please make them constructive. Do not just try to criticize me and think I'm going to pay attention. If you give me constructive criticism, one cat did. I can't remember his name, but he had made a comment about weighting, because I had said that I didn't like all this brass crap being added to these plastic models, because plastic isn't my thing. I would rather build a beefier model up front. He came back and was telling me that on one specific model, I may or may not have my weight properly adjusted. That is cool. That cat knows what he's talking about. That's a cool comment. Now I can go back to my model. I can rethink what I'm going to do. And if there's a mistake there, I can fix it. So those kind of comments I love. It wasn't negative. It's negative against what I was doing on that part, because maybe what I was doing wasn't as good as it could have been. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't take it negative, I take it constructive. I like constructive criticism. I don't mind that a bit. Anyway, end of twist rant for the Friday. And yeah, so, but please just bear in mind, I don't grind the hell out of anything unless I actually have to. Now, what I am going to continue on with now here, these are Clecos, by the way, and this is the left front or left side motor cover with the intended left front fender. I don't like that fender. I'm not happy with the design. I'm not happy with how I'm attaching it, and they're just Clecos. They just hold sheet metal together, so they come undone. So at least it's not like I've destroyed the whole engine side. I just have to redo the fenders. But I'm not happy with the design. So we're going to ditch those and we're going to redo the fender. But first, the front rad support. Now, it's going to sit on so, yeah? So it'll sit on so. What I need to do now to make it sit on so is I need to make a mount for it. So I'm going to take this nice 1/4 inch square stock, and we're going to make a rad support mount. So let's go on with that, yeah? Okay, so I think it's probably rather glaringly obvious why I am pissed off with myself and why I don't like the design of Root Beer's front fenders. Now, grant you, the vice grips are a little bit in the way. Now they're just holding the side engine panel in place. And the magnet, of course, holding the hood and the front cowl panel in place so y'all can see it, because nothing is bolted down here yet. Okay, but I think you can really see, okay, why I don't like my front fender design. And it's because I made the rear fenders proper. They are rounded and proper. Now they do have to have a little bit of a curve and a lip put in here to bring it down. That's yet to come. But the front fenders I screwed up on completely because I made them flat fenders like a Willys Jeep. I don't know why I had Willys on my mind when I was making these frickin' fenders. Now, I mean, it's not a loss because I'll save them and use them on another project, yeah? But the point being is, a 1929 Diamond T204 does not, or pardon me, a 1929 Diamond T201 does not have square front fenders. It has rounded front fenders. They do end up at the top, but they round down, yeah? And they come down a little ways and then they meet into the running boards, which will come. Now in this case, Rob might decide rather than running boards, he would like rock sliders because it is a crawler. And imagination being what it is, I like the idea of putting sliders on instead of running boards. They'll be a little bit beefier, but running boards are going to look really cool on it. So in my mind, I'm going with running boards, but Rob may tell me different. Rob may say he wants rock sliders instead. But so anyway, Rob, we'll see what happens. Now, you can shoot me an email and let me know if you want running boards or rockers or rock sliders, or if you're going to leave it up to me, I am going to go with running boards. I think it will look rather nice. But either way, we got to make some round front fenders for Root Beer, because therein lies we have the issue. At least the front fender support and a rad support, and we're going to probably put, I'm going to be carving out of probably a piece of basswood a nice little rad for the front here to go in, and it will tuck right in here so that when I open up the front grill, because right now the front grill is solid, yeah, and it's going to be opened up here and have the bars put in it like it should have for a 201, okay? And we want to see a nice rad in there, so we'll put a nice rad to fit right inside of the front rad support, and that way everything will look as it should. And then we will have, of course, our motor mounted right here. Now I cannot recall whether the electronic motor comes forward or goes backward. I believe it goes forward into the engine bay, which will be perfect, because then we can put in the firewall in here and the seats and all of that, yeah? But in any case, it's coming along really nicely. I promise you, Rob, I'm going to zoom in here on one camera to show you I did not grind the holy hell out of your rad support and your fender supports. They are still in fact square, just like they ought to be. I'll even clean out this little hunk of MIG wire that's hanging in here. There. And I got to clean that up yet, obviously. Okay? But point being is, I didn't grind the holy hell out of your model, Rob. So root beer has still got a square rad support, just like she should have, except for the curve that's in her where it ought be. Yeah? So it's all good. These are the new side panels for Root Beer and her her engine. So side engine panels, I should correctly say. They will fit just under the cab cowl and like so. And of course, the grill and the red will mount on the front so. And then we have her new fenders, which are not complete. They need some work yet, obviously, but they are a rounded fender, and I can't exactly get them to sit proper for y'all, so I will just hold them into place, and there we be. And Maddie has decided that she needs to check this out, so she's gonna join us here, aren't you, girl? Hey, you checking everybody out? Yeah, you checking everybody out? There's a good close-up of my sweetie puppy and my excellent shop assistant, Maddie. So I put an angle on the fenders because, of course, the rear of the fender, you don't want it sticking out, right? So we had to cut the proper angle in it. It happens to be 8 degrees to keep it straight. And as you notice, it will come off the back of the engine cowl down here where my index finger is kind of wiggling. Sorry, I know that's a little bit difficult to see. Right down here where I'm pointing with my thumb. It will go lower than the side panel because, of course, it will attach into the running board that goes along the side of the truck. So basically, though, they are a rounded fender. There's a slight curve to them. These are not finished, by the way. Don't rag at me about, oh, they look like crap and blah blah. They're not anywhere near finished. It's just the beginning shape of them. So yeah, that is what I originally wanted more than what I had, because they were not proper as a flat fender or a Willis style fender. They should have been a curved fender like that. And of course, that will also match up to the rear fender on the box here once I grab it and move it into place. And the box also needs to have these edges rounded over. I've always planned that. I just hadn't ever gotten around to it yet. But we're getting very, very close to completing the work on Root Beer's body. So a little bit of body work left, undoubtedly. There's quite a few little pieces to clean up and stuff. Not necessarily video worthy, as it were. But, oh yeah, well, see, I'm trying to set it up for you. I use hockey pucks a lot, and I cut them so that if I want, I can put the diff across and get just the tires off the ground or the diff off the ground and work on them, that sort of thing. They're very good, and they're handy, and they're cheap, dirt cheap. You know, a hockey puck costs you like $2, and I'm a cheap bugger, I guess. I don't like spending a lot of money on stuff, and it's mostly because, well, I don't have a lot of money to spend on stuff, so I improvise, and I use hockey pucks, and they work out really well. It doesn't matter. What I was going to say is, it doesn't matter if they get paint on them. Who cares? It's a hockey puck, right? It's not like it's expensive. A little bit of thinner, you can wipe it off if you want. I can't get the grill to sit exactly where it should. Anyway, my point being is there is some body work left to do on root beer. We have to fit the doors. We have to cut out the windows for the front windshield. We've got to cut out the windows for the doors, round over the fenders. All piddly little stuff that takes time, but it isn't really video worthy. But it is getting very, very close to the point where I'm going to be finalizing the frame, getting her into a state where I'm ready to powder coat it, and then we will do final motor and transfer case install on her, and we can start installing the suspension. I do have her links cut. They are in the box here. I just have not got them ready, but they're the same thing as Voodoo. They're just a nice little chunk of round steel stock, 3/8 round, or sorry, 1/4 inch round steel stock, and I will thread the ends for M4 metal links. And once we do that, then we can, and when her shocks arrive, I just ordered those, and I'm not going to spoil it by telling you what I ordered, but her shocks are on the way, and it's getting very, very close to doing some serious assembly to this little girl, and getting her going to where she's a roller, and it won't be too long after that she will be a runner. So it's not going to be long, and y'all are going to see root beer in primer, and then you will finally see why we're calling her root beer. Anyway, guys and girls, it is finally time to end this video, and it is now Sunday night, so it's 2 days later than when the video began to me, a few moments to you, but y'all have a good work week, and don't forget to get out and have some fun and enjoy your RCs, and maybe take the kids out, or at least take the furry kids out and give them a run, and enjoy the fresh air. Hopefully spring is on its way here to Calgary. It's at least going to start doing a hell of a lot of melting this week, which makes me nothing but happy, because I'm a heat worshiper. I hate that cold winter shit. Anyhow, that's going to do her for part 8 on root beer. Talk to you later. See you in the next one. Be good. Bye-bye.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.